Hey guys, if you're just joining right now.
Just a second.
Okay.
And now we're good.
Hey guys, if you're out there watching right now, we really appreciate it. I'm Dan O'Toole, CEO at Dronedek. Sascha, intro.
Sure, I'm Sascha Deri, the CEO and founder of bluShift Aerospace.
Awesome. Hey, we really appreciate you guys joining. If you're already an investor in either one of our companies, thank you so much for that. If you're considering an investment, we're both raising capital right now. We'd love to have you take a look at each of our companies, right, Sascha? And join our journey.
Dan and I met each other last year through equity crowdfunding when we first started with WeFunder. We're both in that special space of breaking new ground in aerospace. We're both delivery service companies, and so it's been really fantastic. Fortunately, not competitors, but both really breaking new ground. I'm really excited to be able to talk with you at a good length today. And don't we have a couple of videos we wanted to queue up too?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, if you guys don't know Dronedek or bluShift, we're just going to show you a quick video. Sean, if you want to roll Dronedek first and then bluShift, and then we can rejoin here.
Hey guys, I'm Dan O'Toole, CEO and founder at Dronedek, and I want to share with you today the Dronedek story. Smart mailbox until now. That's Dronedek. Come on in. Next generation mailbox for autonomous delivery and conventional delivery. Dronedek is consolidating all delivery to one secure point. We're set up to receive and ship autonomously through unmanned driverless vehicles, robotic delivery, aerial drones, as well as conventional delivery and the U.S. mail service. If you were going to think about a new mailbox, what would you put in it? And that's kind of what we did here at Dronedek. What if you could have a heated and cooled cargo area, keeping your items cooler, warmer, fresher, all those kind of things? That's what we've done here. What about notifications? You're waiting for that great new item that you can't wait to get, and you get a notification the minute that thing hits your mailbox. How cool is that? Security, right? Every day, 1.6 million items are stolen. What about not having to worry about security anymore? Your item is safe waiting for you when you get home. Dronedek has the first position patent portfolio in the autonomous delivery space. Our first one, we beat Amazon by just 4 days, Postal Service by 2 weeks, others by less than a month. We have 5 patents pending right now. We just extended the U.S. patent portfolio to the world. We just designated 24 new countries. We're excited about rolling out the IP to the world. And Dronedek, that's us. We own that little piece of real estate that is the gateway to every home and business in the world. That number literally grows by 4,000 new addresses every single day here in the U.S. So it's an evergreen, ever-growing market. Join our journey, and let's go make something great happen.
Very cool.
Okay, let's fire up the bluShift.
The world's first rocket powered by biofuel has been launched in the United States. It's called Stardust 1, and it successfully flew a mile into the air before parachuting back to Earth.
Hi, I'm Sascha Deri, the CEO and founder of bluShift Aerospace.
We just made history again by testing an engine 10 times more powerful than Stardust. Testing will continue as the team perfects the engine and its operation. We have assembled an advanced team of experts uniquely qualified to work in an R&D environment for small launch platforms and rocket engine development. Team members include entrepreneurs who have started other successful companies, members of sounding rocket design teams, and engineers with extensive instrumentation and testing experience. We also have advisors who were key in the development of both the SpaceX Merlin and Rocket Lab Rutherford engines. With these milestones, plus our first signed launch contract now behind us, we are on our way to becoming the only polar orbit launch service on the East Coast of the United States. And we're just getting started.
Thanks for running those, Sean. That's really great, Sascha. Tell us about, I guess we're kind of openly speaking here, and
Yeah.
but people don't know each of us. So, how'd you get into this? This is a really niche market, right?
Oh man. Well, yeah, the market is we've really found the niche market that we went into through a customer discovery process. It was actually thanks to a grant from NASA where we interviewed dozens of potential customers. We actually developed our rockets and the plans for these launch vehicles based upon what we learned from customers. So it's not the field of dreams where we would build it, they will come. It's we build it to what we learned from these future customers, what they needed. But this company, I don't know about for you, but this comes from me, from the passion that I have for space exploration, doing things in an Earth-friendly way, in an Earth-responsible way. That video you just saw, that was actually one of our very first full-size engine tests way back into last winter. We're already ready to start doing a new revision to our engine, and about to do another hot fire engine test. It's incredible amount of power the engine's putting out, and this is the biofuel powered engine that's going to power all of our rockets from here on out. And we're the only company that's doing it in a carbon neutral, non-toxic way. And I feel like we have many parallels in that we're both we're really shaking up the status quo. And you guys, the same thing, right? That's kind of you're doing things in a whole different way and beating much larger competitors to market.
Well, hey, we're nimble, fast, agile, aggressive, right? And when you see a new category and you've got the IP, you want to go after it. So yeah, we're excited, and we're working to be carbon neutral by 2050, taking vehicles off the road, doing all those same kind of things that you guys are. When you have a biodiesel, so like what is that actually made of? I mean,
yeah. So I was caught on camera by CNN. I was actually asked by them to eat the fuel in front of them, to which I agreed. So there's actually a video out there of me chewing on the fuel. Is actually a solid substance. I discovered that the core of the fuel on my brother's farm, just about 30 minutes away from where we are right now at the hangar in Brunswick Naval Air Station. But it's a proprietary fuel. So really our magic isn't just the fuel, it's the engine that we had NASA funding to develop and help technical assistance develop. It's where we're launching from. We will have exclusive access to the #1 orbit for these tiny satellites called nanosatellites that not even the big boys have access to directly. But our whole paradigm is not only shaking up and doing things in a more cost-effective and Earth-friendly way, but doing it in a way in which really is hard for our competition to repeat. And one of those is being able to launch, frankly, off the coast of Maine, where we can get access to this #1 orbit. We will own our own launch site. And today, there are very few space companies, except for the very largest companies, that own their own launch site. So as a result, when we launch, it costs us about 1/25 what other rocket companies have to pay to launch. And then you add in our reduced cost because of our simpler rocket engine technology. It really shaves off a lot of costs and makes us very cost competitive for our customers.
Seems like you're solving a problem too by taking this byproduct of whatever it is and converting that to the energy to power your rockets. So you're probably solving a disposal problem, and maybe the cost of acquiring that product is very low, or maybe free, or maybe you're getting paid to take it away, which is
it's certainly like a byproduct, and it also enables it's actually less expensive than petroleum, more energy dense than petroleum. And then you add the things like nobody ever talks about when the rockets are sent off. They wind up in the ocean usually one way or another, and there's almost always some sort of petroleum spill. Sure. And that just isn't a factor for us. So yeah, but enough about me. How did you get into the drone deck world? What piqued your interest?
First, I just want to say, if anybody's watching, you guys have a question, throw it into the comments section, and we'll try to answer those while we're going through this. So yeah, no, thanks, Sascha, for asking that. Just really been an entrepreneur my whole life. It's not like I'm a drone delivery expert or anything like that, but I've always been kind of an idea guy. I always try to challenge the norm. If something's done this way, why can't it be done that way? And I like to think about things that way. And I've had, hundreds of ideas throughout my career, and tried to get other patents. Some I've been successful on, others I haven't. So just really came up with the idea in 2014. Drone delivery was just becoming a thing. And I was just thinking about, that's awesome that all this autonomous delivery is going to happen, but you still have the fundamental problem of securing the delivered cargo, right? The notion of just dropping any kind of an item, on the ground today, we have high valued items like iPhones, Android phones, food, beverage, pharmaceuticals, cannabis, all these things. You can't just drop them on the ground. I mean,
Yep.
just every day today, there's 1.7 million items stolen in the US, and that's like every day. So if you have this whole industry of autonomy now, you're going to have a whole industry of autonomous theft, and that number is going to skyrocket unless you do something to disrupt that. And that's where we come in. So had the idea, ran to the patent office. I've always been a believer that when one person has an idea, it's an unwritten rule that 10 people have that same idea at the same time. I just think that's kind of like God's way of making sure that it gets done.
It's done one way or another. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I ran to the patent office and, waited 3 years to find out if I was going to be granted the patent. It's not an overnight deal. So waited 3 years, and, throughout that 3-year window, just really oscillated back and forth between thinking, is this going to be my patent, or did somebody beat, who beat me, whatever. So then I found out I had the patent. And in the meantime, I had continued to iterate on the idea because I didn't want to start from a standing stop if I did get it. So that patent had granted. I had already filed another patent, which has issued as well. So in the last 3 years, I've had 2 fully issued patents. We have 5 more patents under examination right now. In all, it's a total of 111 claims that we've either filed for or have been awarded. We also just rolled out our U.S. intellectual property to the world. We just designated 25 new countries. So it is the biggest market opportunity in the world today. We're really excited about our position. And I would just say to anybody, if you're looking at a way to play the this new emerging autonomous delivery paradigm that's going to change the world, there's one way to play, and that's Dronedek. We are the gateway to every home and business throughout the world. And I always look at the commodity type of the modes in the delivery space would be like the drones, the robots, the unmanned driverless vehicles, and even the conventional. Those things are ubiquitous, they're everywhere, not much differentiation. But when you get to that one little piece of real estate where every delivery starts or ends, that's Dronedek. So we're excited about what we're offering. I see you have a question up there, Sascha. Jump in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I just want to comment. It seems like your guys' solution is kind of like, I was thinking about the other parallels to it. It's like way back when, you have the RJ11 jack in your house for like the port for telephone service, later on Ethernet ports. And now you have like a delivery port, which is, the modern delivery port that's part of your home.
Right.
And this is just, and it's the market opportunity seems incredible because it's just so ubiquitous in terms of, well, this type of service likely to be the future in terms of delivery. And it's essentially everybody in the world who could possibly benefit from this down the road, residential homeowners. So it seems very exciting. Yeah. So I saw the question. So it's a question from Leo919 and asked if, is this rocket fuel only, or can it be used for cars and other vehicles as well? So the fuel is a solid, so you couldn't jam it into like a traditional combustion engine for a car. Technically, you could develop a combustion engine that could work for a car. So that's a possibility, but it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not like actually like biodiesel. It's distinct. It's very energy dense, and I've certainly thought about maybe there's other applications we could use here. Some of the things we were thinking about is not only selling our launch services and providing people with access to space, but actually offering companies our combustion engine technology, because our rockets are intended to be reused, so are our engines. So one of the concepts we've toyed around with is actually selling the engines, and then we refurbish it for other rocket companies that want to do launch, and they want to do something green, more environmentally friendly. And we just we sell them new fuel cores whenever it's needed. So
what are some use cases that, who would want to launch something, a small micro satellite? Tell us about that.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So we've already received about $9.5 million in purchase orders and LOIs to date. And our very first one was from an organization that provides STEM kits and training to students literally across the world. So they can do experiments in space. They already have experiments from students up at the International Space Center, ISS, and they were delighted to not only have a potential launch partner that they could count on like us, but doing it in an environmentally friendly way, which was core to their vision. But since then, we've signed up additional customers that are doing a whole variety of things, testing out propulsion technologies for new satellites. They want to do an experiment suborbitally and come back down. Probably the odder one is a customer who wants to not launch pets' ashes and human ashes and memorial services and launching them up into space and over space, and actually providing sort of a virtual reality experience that the loved ones can pay for to see their loved ones' ashes deployed. So everything from research, academics supporting STEM to commercial. I'm hoping that we're located in the great state of Maine, where LL Bean is located. I'm hopeful that someday the LL Bean will launch one of their famous boots all the way to space with us. So who knows?
That's awesome. It sounds kind of like what we always say. One of the things we say every day, Sascha, is there's more we don't know about what we're going to do than we do know. And the reason we say that is we've got this feature-rich, technology-centric piece of a new platform for drone delivery that's going to be the gateway to every home and business throughout the world. And when you have that platform, the use cases or the majority have yet to be thought of. So we're just excited.
And they come to you.
Right.
We're finding customers are coming to us asking us, "Hey, could you do this, do that?" Yeah. So you guys got started on equity crowdfunding before we did, and gotten very mature into that. I guess one of the questions I have for you is like, what got you guys into that, and like now how many investors have you guys brought on board to date since then?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, kind of our capital raise history. Had the idea in 2014, Sascha and everyone out there, and I've always believed that you don't want to take the short money. I always believe that your equity in your company is really everything. It's the capital of development. You're actually exchanging equity for capital to do what you need to do. So you don't want to take the short money. So for the first 6.5 years, I funded the company 100% out of my own pocket. I put about $750,000 into it. And I went through several iterations of prototyping, did all my IP filing, and just did all the missionary work that you do to launch a new category, new product. And then I got to about 2.5 years ago, I just got to the point where I was laboring every day. I had 25 engineers working in India every day and doing all these things. And I just said to myself, wow, I could sure use some help here. And just in that moment, a really good friend of mine came to me, Dave Schwind, if you're out there. And he said, "Hey man, Dronedek." And I said, "Yeah, what about it?" And he goes, "I want in." I said, "Well, Dave, for the last 6.5 years, I haven't asked one person to put one dime in." He goes, "I know." I said, "Well, I'm not soliciting you." He goes, "I'm soliciting you." And that was just like a paradigm shifting moment, really humbling, gratifying, because I really could use the help. And also it showed me that people were watching what we were doing, and what we were doing had become investable in the eyes of others. So it was really a great moment. He came in for $200,000. He was our first investor at a $58 million valuation. Soon thereafter, a small VC firm, Centerpoint Capital, came in for $200,000 at a $92 million valuation. And then we began our equity crowdfunding campaign on WeFunder about a year and a half ago. And we commenced that at a $123 million valuation. We rode that out till September 1st of last year, where we concluded at a $223 million valuation. Our valuation, our trajectory is always upward, like you would hope. We continue to hit milestones and benchmarks, additional IP partnerships, product development, our team, all those things that you want to see. And then we commenced crowdfunding just recently on Start Engine within the last 30 days. We're raising at a $330 million valuation. We have nearly 5,000 investors right now. We did earn the distinction last year of being the highest valuation pre-revenue company to ever successfully crowdfund in the history of crowdfunding. I'm really proud of that. We think that speaks to the vision and the opportunity that Dronedek presents to the market, and that people see that. So we're raising right now on Start Engine. If you go to startengine.com/Dronedek, we'd love to have you come check us out. My phone number is 317-694-7520. I'm Dan at Dronedek.com. I welcome anyone to contact me with any questions or comments, and tell us about your history there, Sascha.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of parallels. Started the company in 2014, funded the company 100% myself for the first many years, probably put in close to $500,000 since then. Early days, we got grants from NASA and an organization called the Maine Technology Institute, probably another $750,000 in investments there. And it was when we had our launch of Stardust, our prototype launch with paying customers on board, which is disassembled behind me here. It's a 20-foot tall rocket, small version of what we're about to launch. And when we launched that, the day after that, I had people emailing me. It was almost ridiculous. Every 5 to 8 minutes for 3 days, I would get emails asking me how they could invest in our company. And at that point, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go talk to angel investors. I was already working, doing the pitch deck stuff. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, how can I really democratize and open up the ability for anybody to invest? And that's when I, really took a good close look at equity crowdfunding and locked on. We're using WeFunder now, WeFunder.com. So you go to WeFunder.com, you look up bluShift. We're doing our second big round right now. So we had a successful first round, but that was our very first run into doing private funding. Was the first round we raised $1 million, and now we're doing another round. We're hoping to raise an additional third of $1 million to kind of wrap up the development of this engine, this full-size engine, which will be ultimately flying in Starless Rogue as early as the end of next year. So it's been incredible. We've brought on, I think, a fraction of the folks you brought on board, but something over 1,200 different investors from all over around the world. And it's been, I don't know about you, but it's been a fantastic experience having that interaction and that transparency of sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly with everybody.
Absolutely. That's what's been so rewarding. This is a chance for everybody to participate in the next big thing. And, we look at all of our investors as not just investors, but co-owners. You guys all have a seat at the table with us. Our last design that we went through, our concept, we put it out in front of all of our shareholders. We took their input. We actually, that's the unit that we're building right now. So, you're part of the team, and try to be really accessible. Everybody, we're not all big guys out there, right? And everybody wants to be a part of something and feel like they're a big part of it. And that's what we try to provide is it's a co-ownership. We're all in this together. We want to share great news and excitement with you guys. We're looking at going public here next year. That's one of the things that we're really excited about. We love our investors. We have nearly 5,000. We've raised about $8 million in the last 2.5 years. As far as how we're looking to provide value and give back to our investors, that's what we're looking to do, is provide liquidity through a public offering on the NASDAQ. So I don't know what your plans are on that.
Yeah, I personally most favor the concept of going public ourselves. I think it provides the most flexibility in terms of pursuing our vision for commercializing new space and doing it in an earth-friendly way. I think oftentimes in the aerospace industry, companies like ours get bought up by defense companies, and we're looking to kind of do things in a different way. And we're very excited about it. And for us, doing a public offering is that I'd say the primary way for us to fulfill all of our investors' hopes in terms of getting returns.
One of the things we're really excited about, Sascha, is that the NASDAQ actually reached out to us about last summer. and said, hey, we're always looking for the next big thing.
That's cool.
That's what we do. And, we've identified Dronedek as that next big thing. And they said, when you go public, we know that you have a choice. New York, London, Ontario, NASDAQ, whatever. And we hope it'll be us. And they ended up offering us an opportunity to receive a shout out from NASDAQ on the iconic NASDAQ tower in Times Square. So they put a really cool message up. And that was a great call that they made, because as we go public and explore that, we're biased toward the NASDAQ. So I think, they did a great job there. And we're looking to, we have a lot of loyalty for that. And so that's what we're exploring. But I see Max IQ Space sent over a question. When building or scaling your businesses, what key characteristics do you look for in potential new hires? Experience versus education. I would say for me, for our team, we look for passion, people that are committed and dedicated to what our mission is. Education is secondary. Just because you have a degree may mean you're great. It may not mean you're great, and so we celebrate everyone here. It's really the thing I think we're most proud of on our team is we've got a very impassioned team, all rowing in unison with that high level of enthusiasm. I've been around a lot of businesses. I've had several companies throughout my career, and I can tell you, I've never seen such a unified group, so targeted on one goal. And I celebrate that every day. And I think it has a lot to do with what we're doing, creating a brand new category, a new product, and just the excitement around that. How about you, Sascha? How do you guys deal with that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think we're in the privileged space of being at the apex of where you got rockets, which is cool, and space exploration, which is cool, but also doing something in a earth-friendly and sort of a way that people can get passion behind, like just their curiosity, but also the moral passion of doing things in the right way and do things that's good for our planet. But fundamentally, I think what we look for is people who, the education is great. It's a good way to start it. But I think some of the most successful folks that we've had to date are people who have fundamental hands-on experience and just show an incredible drive to get things done, a passion to get things done. And I've seen this happen everywhere from interns to people who are professionals for decades. It's the people who, despite how hard it is, they may literally be crying from the frustration, but they persevere. Having that perseverance, in our case, having the ability to, you can be an engineer on one hand, but if you can pick up a welding, if you can do welding at the same time, you're not afraid of picking it up or learning it, that's also important.
Yeah,
so
we all wear all the hats, right?
Especially this time. Yeah.
24/7, I think that's the other thing that I look for, Max IQ, is just a commitment, so where the mentality transcends the 8 to 5 workday. You're all in, we're all in every day, right? And you might have the best idea at 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday, right? And you want to communicate that, and so it's 24/7, all hands on deck. So I know we're running out of time here, so I'll start out and just kind of conclude here for Dronedek. I'm Dan at Dronedek. Love to have you guys explore an opportunity to invest with us. We'd certainly appreciate that opportunity. You can check it out at startengine.com/Dronedek. If you have any questions, I told you earlier how you can reach us. And Sascha, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm again Sascha Deri, CEO and founder of bluShift Aerospace, the very first company to have launched a rocket using a bio-derived, carbon-neutral, earth-friendly fuel. And we are raising another round on wefunder.com. So please check it out. Check out our video. We welcome feedback. You can ask questions right on there. And I usually get back within 24 hours. I try to personally answer those as soon as possible. Love to get your feedback and thoughts. And we were looking for more partners to help us shape the future of space exploration and do it in a way that's earth-friendly as we study the Earth and beyond. Right. So yeah, thank you, Dan. It was really great to
you too, man. Thanks so much, man. Thanks to you guys too. See you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye, guys. Cool. Well, that should be fun. So the recording stays up. Is that right?